Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the most exciting content you can find on the interwebs. It is an interview for the DCCS, the Discord Community Championship Series, and I'm joined none other by the infamous Anivia One-Trick, the drawer of bans in the DCCS. I'm joined with the Han Zolo. How are you doing today, friend?
I'm doing all right, Trav. How are you doing?
You're the second person to ever ask me that.
Inside
of these interviews, everybody else
always ask that.
All right, just there's going to be a little bit of device. People are going to notice my clothes changed between all the days that I've done the interviews. The person who has the interview with me wearing the same shirt is the only other person I think of that actually said that. So that's actually
considering I don't see you, it's just some magic.
It's magic. It's pure magic.
Pure AP.
So we got to go ahead and jump into the big things. Your team is undefeated. And how does that feel? Was this as expected? Were you just like, we're easily going to smash, or were you guys kind of afraid of dropping a game or two?
I think the team that we were most worried about, actually, day one we weren't too worried about because we spent, to no big surprise, I do a lot of drafting. And I think me and McGuire spent combined total of about almost 5 hours on our drafting last week. Just getting everything pulled out, putting all of our team's drafts together, putting different comps together, putting all this stuff together. But of course, they throw out like so many bans, we have to adjust things a little bit, but you figure it out. The day two, we were a little worried about clutch, but after the first few minutes with that, we weren't worried at all. We figured it out. We got in, and game one looked a little shaky. I'm sure you saw. You casted it. It was not exactly our cleanest performance. But once we got past the usual little Echo Fox mid game of rotating like crazy, we were fine. Game two, which you guys sadly didn't see, I'm not sure if you watched it. Apple and I managed to get 4 kills in the first 6 minutes of the game.
That's always nice. Getting a couple kills early on, it's.
Let's get Kaisa 3 kills at 6 minutes.
It's not like she scales or kills champions. I'm pretty sure you build Randuin's first item,
Sure.
But that's a cool little thing to think about, though. Is I like to hear the fact that you were worried about clutch because so many people were down on clutch. And actually, let me go through my notes here.
They were one of the few teams that really didn't do a lot of scrimming. They never scrimmed against us. They almost never scrimmed against TL. I think they only scrimmed TL once, which was the other team that we scrimmed a lot during the offseason. So they were kind of the mystery team, if I would say it that way. And I know, some of their players are decent. We've seen them in, fan games, that sort of thing. We've seen them around. They're not bad players, and they seem to mesh well together, and their shot calling seemed to be decent. I mean, they closed out, even if Cloud9 was having a rough day, they closed out that game in 18 minutes. That's nuts!
Yes.
I think the fastest Echo Fox has done is 21 minutes, if I recall.
Yeah.
So that's really, really fast. So you have to have some sort of macro calls, even if the other team is kind of not playing at their strongest. You have to have decent macro calls. So I was looking at them these guys might actually be a threat. But we were wary. We picked for the late game. We didn't even get to the late game because we killed everybody. And we won the game.
The secret to winning games: you don't even need a late game if your late game's in your first 20 minutes.
Apparently,
Scientists are just getting drove crazy by this. It does make me ask though, with Clutch Gaming. How do you feel about Clutch Gaming as a team then, since we're on the topic? Because some people are looking at the strength of schedule that they had last week and are contributing that to their 3-1 victory. Some people aren't convinced in Clutch. Are you a bit more convinced in Clutch, seeing some of their performances?
I think the two teams that have the strongest just overall play so far that we've seen, which means that the other team should be taking note, are Clutch and TL. For sure. Those two teams, in my opinion, are the two strongest teams that we've placed against. And they definitely showed that at least their macro play was on par with ours. I mean, I know, me and you both know, Monizzle's the man. He can do good call-outs as long as he's in a good headspace.
Was he the man when he played Shaco top, though?
That wasn't his fault. Wasn't his fault.
It wasn't.
I felt bad. I probably, honestly, if it wasn't on the stream and if it was on, I probably would have let him remake and pick Scion. I'm not that harsh. I try to make everyone fair. There's a lot of I wouldn't say dislike, but eyes on Echo Fox because we won last split, and we're also Pancakes who's technically one of our players, and our mod is head of the DCCS in most ways. So a lot of eyes are on us. We get a lot of skeptical looks. So we really try to make people think we're fair, and I really do everything I can. Day 2, I think it was Clutch. I think it was Clutch. They had a player who went to the store kind of randomly.
Oh yes.
And we were like, sure, we can wait 15 minutes. We won't. If it's after 15, then we'll make you lose 1 ban. But we weren't going to do 5 minutes 1 ban, 10 minutes 2 bans, 15 minutes 3 bans. No, I said, don't worry about it. If he gets back in 15, lose 1 ban, we'll go from there. That's fine. But then they had to sub out a player, which is an automatic 3 ban loss last minute, which sucks. I feel bad because it kind of gave them an edge over. I got a Nivea. It's not fair. It's not fair to. Bert. It's not fair. So I do feel bad for Clutch, and I think people, if they're underestimating them, definitely should not. Especially some of the other teams we scrimmed against. They have good macro play, and that's really what you need in these games.
Yeah, and when it comes down to the macro play, let's go ahead and flip it on over because, like I said, you guys had a 4-0 weekend. It's not really much else to talk about besides what really got you interested. The last thing I do want to talk about from last week before we start looking into the future, was there any teams that you guys were watching that really impressed you guys outside of the teams that you guys play? Because I know you said Team Liquid and CG, but, there was a lot of people that were down on FlyQuest and Optic, and they both came away with 3-1 victories.
I was one of the few people that actually in the predictions I said FlyQuest will do well. I know FlyQuest will do well. Even though Babe Lord memes on me, he ganks me a shit ton. He's kind of rude to me sometimes. He's a good player and he has good mental, and I know he'll do well this season. So he was my second pick in fantasy as well. I know he will lead his team quite well up there. So FlyQuest is definitely a team for other teams to watch as well. Truly, they're a good team.
Mm-hmm. So FlyQuest definitely somebody that we could look at. Let's go ahead and look into the future for you guys then, because
shuckles.
We're leading into FlyQuest. You guys do get to play them. You guys have GGS, FlyQuest, TSM, and 100 Thieves. And real quick, before we jump into any specific matchups, I want to talk about GGS and TSM specifically, just because of the fact that these are two teams that are undergoing some roster swaps, some movement around inside of their roster. How does that affect you preparing for them?
We wait until the losses rock to make our full on rosters. We do save all of our notes from the prior weeks, so we'll have, so not this week, but next week, when we start replaying teams again, we have all of those notes already done. It's all in a sheet document that we all share, and we basically will have that to basically go back to, so we won't have as much work to do, and I'll also go back and see what they played during the game, see what they played this week, just to kind of see what they're about to do. Usually that's not a full-on way to tell how people are going to play, but it's a decent way to go into it at least. On GGS, of course, we have to watch out for Atlas in the top lane. He didn't pop off that much last weekend, but that doesn't mean he can't. And he's on our Saturday game, and that's against me. So he'll be dealing with the Han Zolo, and we'll see if I can Hoonie him into submission. I think... Shubi's always good, but I have to admit, Apple is really hard to match anywhere in the bot lane. Even if he's 1v2, he'll smash no matter what. And Pancake and him have had a lot of recent synergy together, so I think those two will play really well down there. And we actually have our jungler back now that Florence decided to get out of our way. So we'll have another strong jungle presence, even though Myth and Angie both did excellent last weekend. People were looking at KDs, but they really shouldn't. They were on the map when they needed to be. Their vision score was absolutely insanely good. and they provided exactly what the Echo Fox team needs because we have so many of these carry lanes.
Yeah, I feel like the Echo Fox really thrives when you guys just have a stable force in the jungle. I feel like Angie and them both did that exceptionally well. Very impressive Angie's Graves, and Myth was able to really control vision throughout the map. I feel
he also landed a lot of good ults too on that from that stage. He did a lot of good with that. So both of them played exactly what they needed to do, and I'm very happy that they both did. This weekend we have Ben, who is that really strong jungle threat. Mm-hmm. He will duel you, he will fight you, and he will kill you if you give him the chance.
Unless he's playing Nocturne. I've seen his Nocturne, man. It's a little yikes.
That's in the darkness. It's in the darkness. You don't need to talk about it, man. But on the other side, and then on Sunday we have Myth again still. So Myth will be doing. Myth will get that good old Riv cast there, and pretty excited for that. He plays that really steady jungle presence. He can play a lot of junglers, and people kind of ignore him, but I don't think he should at all. I think Myth was on our championship team last season.
Mm-hmm. He knows what it feels like to be a champion.
Yeah, and that Sunday lineup has me, Zuko, and Myth on it, which are the 3 veterans from last season. Not only that, but you have the veteran caster McGuire in the top lane, and who plays tons of tournaments.
Ornn. That's what we've seen.
Ornn and Shen One Trick boys. That's all he plays.
That's all I've seen him play.
If you leave Shen up, we'll take Shen. He kills people solo as Shen. It's fine. And then I'm in the mid lane on Sunday, so I'll actually get to play mid on Sunday again. It seems like this week I was supposed to play mid on Saturday, but an emergency happened. So I'll be taking over the top lane, and Van will be coming back in to hold his own in the mid lane. So I think we'll be fine on Saturday as well.
Well, that leads me to my next question. You guys are currently 4-0, and I know you and everybody on Echo Fox is incredibly confident in not only your skills, but in each other's skills and how you guys will play as a team. However, I want to throw a curveball in here and play devil's advocate. No. Out of the 4 teams, GGS, FlyQuest, TSM, and 100 Thieves, which one of these teams are they most likely to create the blemish on Echo Fox's record?
FlyQuest, no doubt.
No doubt. It's not even a contest between the other 3 teams?
Nope. You have Babe Lord in the mid lane and Zin in the jungle. Both extremely strong champions. Their weakness, in my opinion, will be their bot lane and their top lane, which we'll exploit. But their mid jungle synergy is really good. You see how Zin plays. Zin plays absolutely out of his head. He's an excellent jungler. He has excellent presence, and he did amazing work last week. So Zin is another person you should definitely watch. He's quite good.
Yeah, he's a monster. I personally think I walked away from week 1 going, wow, Zend was the most impressive player on stream for me, just because of the performance he had on stream on the Kindred and whatnot.
Yeah, he played that Kindred disgusting level. I remember that when they were diving inner turret bot lane, that game, when he just queues out and gets that 3rd strike and I forget who the enemy support was, but it was literally a good third of his health just gone. I was just like, oh no.
Oh no.
Kindred's at that point in the game. Oh no.
Well, I wanna toss it over to another devil's advocate question here. All right?
Another one?
I'm on both shoulders here, man. You don't have any angels on your shoulders, just devils. Out of the teams, you have FlyQuest.
GGS.
No. You have FlyQuest, you have Clutch Gaming, and you have Optic that are 3-1 right now.
Okay.
These are 3 teams that were projected to go 0-4 by the community in week 1. They had a great first week. Which team drops off this week? I want to know from Echo Fox's perspective, which team are any of these teams going to drop, or are these teams going to continue to excel?
I can see Optic dropping.
You can see Optic dropping. I mean, think about it. They're getting their mid laner back on Sunday.
It's true. They're getting their mid laner back, but that also will put in a lot of pressure on them to do that, and a lot of pressure on them to play well. I think they'll have a hard time kind of getting back into the swing of things. And I really think they could do it, absolutely. I think they could hold their own. I think it's a strong roster. You said Optic, GGS, and Fly, I believe?
No. Optic, Fly, and Clutch Gaming.
Sorry. I think Clutch and Fly will do well. I mean, Fly, of course, is going to lose to us, of course. But
they said they're going to be the team to beat you guys.
I know. Babe Lord already said he was going to get first blood on me. Let him say all he wants. You can get first blood on him all you want. You can even gank me level 2, level 3 again. Then I won't die ever again. Just look at the last game against Clutch. You got to cheese first blood on me. Fine, good. You gank my lane again. A minute later, you get my flash. You try to gank me again. I get away from it. I get away from it. Guess what? I don't die again that game, and I get 8 kills. Gank me all you want. Keep trying. I will let you first blood me. I will let you kill me. I'll still out-farm you. I'll still out-damage you, and I'll still win the game.
Well, with that being said, Zolo, I'm admiring the confidence here. I'm excited to see you play. Guys, Zolo's going to be taking a break from the mid lane, playing top lane on Saturday, and then back into the mid lane on Sunday for Echo Fox. Be sure to tune in. 5 p.m. EST is when DCCS starts on Saturday and Sunday. Be sure to check that out. The links are down in the right below us, of course. And Zolo, I have any last words that you would like to put out for anybody who doesn't believe that Echo Fox can go 8-0 this weekend?
Well, at Echo Fox, we're constantly looked at about because, we're always, looked at. But there's one phrase that sticks out. One phrase that unites all of Echo Fox fans. One phrase that memes it all. Rick Fox!
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You have the war cry of Echo Fox Discord as they're going, Rick Fox! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys all for coming out here. Thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Drop a like, and be sure to stay tuned for more DCCS content coming right at your face. Thanks again, and peace. We're out.
Have a good night, everybody.